When I first started Raya Nova in 2023, it was just a fun little passion project and something creative for myself to do during maternity leave. I never thought it would be what it is today. Hi, my name's Ash and I am the owner and creative behind Raya Nova, a small art business based in the northwest of Manchester. I have been developing this brand since 2023 and never imagined it would grow into what it is today. Currently, we have stock in 2 permanent retail spaces, along with regular appearances at Comic-Cons and artisan markets across the UK. And we also have a growing little community of people who genuinely connect with what I make, which is absolutely crazy and amazing to have. It's been an absolute sticker-covered whirlwind, and I want to make sure I stop and take a minute to take a look back at everything I've learned over the last year, from my first year of selling my homemade, handmade products in a retail space. So, the official retail journey began in March 2024, when I took a big leap and I rented my first space at Red Brick Market in Liverpool. I didn't feel fully ready, if I'm honest, and looking back, I definitely wasn't prepared. But I jumped in and figured everything out. It's been kind of magical as well. I had to learn a lot on the job. I made mistakes and I grew fast. And that's exactly what I needed to happen. I think if I constantly waited till I was ready, I'd never end up taking the plunge, because I don't think I ever would have truly felt ready before taking on the task. By February 2025, I also decided to expand to my second permanent retail space. So, for a bit of context, I did a pop-up shop with Keep It Local in Stoke-on-Trent over the Christmas period. So that was from October 2024 to December 2024, and I loved it. So when they opened their store in Warrington in February, I jumped at the chance to join them there. I also was able to expand my Red Brick Market space in July 2024 to a bigger space. So my brand has slowly been taking up a little bit more physical space in this world, and it's been absolutely crazy and surreal to think. Over the last year, I have grown so much and learnt so many things that I feel like are really valuable to share with people who might be looking to go into retail themselves but have no clue where to start. For me, there's been a very big learning curve, especially around things like packaging. So with my background in marketing, packaging is something I was always very aware of. I knew how important it was, and to be honest, I am one of those suckers that buys something just because I think the box looks pretty, regardless of whether I actually need the product. So I'm very aware of how important it is. But looking at packaging and then going from that to not just designing packaging that you think is cute, but is also practical, protective, and still fits the brand of Raya Nova in sort of this fun, cute, and sort of clean way, it's honestly a big task. And unless you've got direct experience in it, it's something that's going to take a lot of trial and error, or at least for me it did. But figuring out those things has helped me get a lot more confident in my decision making, and it's also taught me so many skills that I now feel confident when I'm designing my packaging. It is forever evolving and growing, and every single time I go to redesign something or make new packaging for a new product, I can see the improvement. I sometimes like to even go back and look at my first retail space and my first pictures to see just how much I've grown, which is something I really recommend people do. Especially if you've been doing something for maybe a couple of months, a year, you don't know how much progress you've made. Just look at comparison pictures from where you started to now, and I can guarantee you will be able to see that change instantly. Another thing that I didn't really realise fully until I was in the position where I had my own retail space was merchandising and how important it is. Everything from where a product sits on the shelf to the signs around it to its pricing, labels, it all means so much, and honestly, I found that when I was rearranging my stall, it was very obvious to see where the key parts of the stall were that people were looking at. And I found that whatever I put in that space would sell the best as a general rule. So I worked around my stall and made it so that the products that I felt were the most eye-catching and the most enticing were at the right level for people, so that it would draw people in and hopefully let them see more. It's not just about making something look aesthetic. It's also about making things practical from a point of you need to think about your customer. So for me, I had a number of items that I personally class as more of a pocket money range. They are perfect for kids who maybe have like a couple of pounds on them. Things like badges, mystery badge packs. I have them themed for Pokemon and other different things as well. But having them at a lower height, still high enough that an adult can see them, but low enough that maybe a 7-8-year-old can also see, made it so much easier for them to sell, because those kids would then find them a lot easier rather than them being above their eye level and possibly being missed. Something else that really surprised me, and this one's a bit cheesy, but it's true. I didn't expect how well received my work would be. For me, I started trading at markets on honestly a whim. It was something that I'd wanted to do for so long, and I just never had the courage or time to. And then when I was on maternity leave, I had nothing better to do. So I went for it and I took the plunge, and my work was well received in person, but I didn't know how much of that was to do with me being there and people feeling pressured into buying something because they're talking to the person that's created it. However, that obviously isn't the case when people are shopping somewhere like Red Brick Market or Keep It Local, because the person who has created the product isn't physically standing there selling it to you. And strangers, fellow makers, customers, everyone's reminded me that Raya Nova has something worth sharing and worth shouting about, which feels very big-headed to say, but it's very easy to doubt your own work, especially when you're looking at it every day and you maybe don't realise just how much progress you've made over years. This is why I say things like you need to refer back to old work and compare and look at how far you've come, because when you're the only person looking at everything and you're the one choosing your designs, it's really hard to know whether you like things for the right reasons, whether something is going to be universally liked or if it's just a very, very niche product just for you. I found that people really seemed to connect with my work, and obviously I've been generating sales from it, which is absolutely insane to me. It's not obviously anything that I could rely solely on, but the fact that people are going into a place like Red Brick Market, for example, where there's over 100 different small businesses, they're walking through that warehouse, seeing all these incredible pieces and things from all these different companies, and then they see my work and they're deciding that they're going to pick that up over everything else in that room. It blows my mind. It is an absolutely crazy thing to be able to fathom, and it honestly is the biggest confidence boost. And I don't know if people realise just how much something like that can mean to a small business. Even so much as buying a single print or like a sticker, like that just shows that you have seen that and wanted it enough that you have picked it over other things in the business. So, what's next? So my hope is to keep expanding. My aim is to open another retail location in the next few months. I'm already in conversations about it, so I'm hoping that'll happen in the summertime. I am also looking at doing pop-ups again with Kenji and potentially launching into a couple of retail spaces for the beginning of next year. I don't want to overload myself, so I'm trying to pace all of these retail locations so that I can make sure I can keep up, basically. But that's the plan. I also have a lot of new products in the works that I'm hoping to start launching as of May, so keep an eye out for that. And that includes my new Pride collection, just in time for Pride Month. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because I've been designing it for the last couple of months and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. If I could tell past me one thing, I think it would just be that it's going to be hard at first. I really don't want to sugarcoat it. But if you keep going past that hard point, it does get easier. You get into the swing of things, the things that you once struggled with. As soon as you understand it, it all makes sense. It's not rocket science, it's just new. And I feel like that newness can be hard to learn, but as soon as you get to grips with it, you can evolve along with your business and you can take up the space in a retail location and feel like you're being fulfilled because you know your work is resonating with people and you know that people are looking at the things you've created and wanting to spend money on them. If you're out there looking for a way to start in retail, I do recommend something like Keep It Local or Red Brick Market, depending where you live. There's lots of other different types across the UK. It's just those are the two that I have experience with personally. Just start small, but don't try and wait until you feel like you're ready because you will never feel 100% ready. I am hoping to record some more videos. I think there might be a lot more like this, just because it's a lot harder to film videos with a newborn and with a toddler. I have very limited time and I'm going to be honest, no one really wants to see me at 11 o'clock at night when I'm sleep deprived. So by recording videos and just recording my art like this, I think that might be the way forward, at least for now. If there's anything anyone would like me to discuss or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment, like this video if you found it useful at all. And I will see you hopefully next week. Bye.